Hi there, a warm welcome to you. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants first. Med Abduali, the first viewer who commented in tonight's live chat. MMT, second comment. Simon Tesfai. Thank you, Simon. He called me Sanjay, Sajid, Sajido. Ediso Zinabo, peace to you too, Ediso. Maya Shikur here. Zacharias joined too. Sometimes your comments don't make any sense to me, Zacharias. Uh, Simon says, you are my break time from my studies every day at this time. Mel Gabriel here. Dale Zudi join. Yaso here. Zugo. No, Zacharias is asking a question about situation between Poland and Germany, border areas. That's why I said sometimes your comments don't make sense to me, don't make sense to anyone, to be honest. Elijah joined. Welcome, Elijah. Good to see you. Hamonoth here. EOYAFPP said, do you feel like the Ethiopia is still a close ally to the US? Well, off topic, but yeah. Uh, Ethiopia is an ally of the US because Ethiopia is recipient of foreign aid. It's a recipient of bailout package from IMF and World Bank. So Ethiopia cannot confront the US, whether it's an ally, strategic ally or not. But it cannot confront the US, I think. We have Skandarevat here, Joey joined, Alex T here. Welcome, Alex T. Skandar said, do you think you are a friend or foe for Profano or pro PP YouTubers? For me, you are making them useless. T joined. Well, to be honest, I don't know what other YouTubers are reporting. I don't watch their videos. I don't tell my people to translate their videos. Generally, you people inform me sometimes about other YouTubers that Saji, that channel reported this. Is it true or not? Then I come to know what they are reporting in their videos. Since I don't watch them, that is why my analysis and understanding of different issues is independent. It's different from their understanding because I don't know what they are saying. Peace, love, join. Welcome, peace, love. Good to see you. Peace, love is a member too. So we have first member in tonight's live chat. That is peace, love. Mengisto here. Mengisto says Abi has no allies. Let's start, viewers. A short live chat tonight, just 10-minute long talk, less than 10-minute long. Then your questions and comments. Under 30-minute time, I'll finish the live chat tonight. By the way, Indian Prime Minister is being warmly welcomed in Ethiopia. So the hospitality displayed by the Ethiopian government is very impressive. India is home to over 1 billion people. It's a huge market, by the way. Uh, Ethiopia should benefit from this market if Ethiopia has exports which could be sent to India. But the welcome is impressive. And tomorrow, I think, on Wednesday, uh, Narendra Modi will address a joint session of the parliament. Tibabe is asking a question about Gambela. Yeah, nighttime curfew has been imposed in Gambela. Some people have been killed there. Hopefully, I'll do an analytical video on that in coming days because I'm trying to verify information about the real causes behind the conflict there in Gambela. Skandar says, have you heard what Indian PM said in Amharic? Well, I saw Ethiopians welcoming Indian Prime Minister singing an Indian song. So it was reciprocal, maybe, that the Indian Prime Minister talked in Amharic. It was good to see, by the way. The spirit of friendship is good to see. Goracha says Sajid Abi has successfully outmaneuvered his opponents. Well, I don't know why you reached this conclusion. If you ask me, I would say that Eratia punches way, way above its weight. There is no comparison between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Eritrea is a very small country, but it has managed to be very relevant in the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia should be more influential in the Horn of Africa. It needs to be more important, I believe. So it needs to do a lot of work. Let's start, viewers. Let's not be diverted. Let's start. Welcome, Robert. Good to see you. MMT says Ethiopian government treats their guests well, but not their own population. Well, that is what all governments do, which are not accountable to people. Brian Ipsajohn, welcome, Brian. I think wherever people cannot hold governments responsible, governments accountable, in those countries, people are not treated uh, equally, and there is no real rule of law in those countries. Much of Africa, parts of Asia are ruled by such governments where there is no respect for human life because governments are not accountable to people. Governments are not truly elected governments by the people there. But one question, let me respond, then I'll start. Baka says, do you keep saying that Gitacho made a political blunder? Do you mean that TPLF is correct? Do you think the path TPLF chose is better for Tigray or Getacheo's approach? Well, is there a difference between Getacheo's politics and TPLF's politics? Whatever the two are doing is politics. It's not that Getachew is pro peace and TPLF is pro war. No. These are basically labels which are being used to malign each other. Both TPLF and Semrat are politicizing issues. Getachew made a blunder. He thought he had Prime Minister of Ethiopia's backing, that he will continue as Tigray president, that he will somehow control TPLF. That was his wrong assessment, I think. And Abiy just withdrew. When the time came and Getachew had to flee Mekelle to Addis. So his long struggle, I think, has been wasted. Now he will always be at the mercy of PP. It is very difficult to organize a strong political party in Tigray. It's very difficult. TPLF will never allow that. And without PP, Simrat cannot exist. So Getachew's political future is in danger. That is why I think he made a blunder. It's not what he's saying. These politicians, they make claims, they talk politics. Their words should not be trusted, to be honest. Mr. Artviewers, you are diverting me by asking questions off topic. Let me start, viewers. I'll respond to questions a little later. I got disconnected. I'm back. So the ruling party in Ethiopia, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, they have broken another opposition party. You know that this is how Ethiopian PM works. That he tries to create splits in opposition political parties and armed groups. You saw what happened in Tigray. He tried to divide TPLF. He backed Getachew, Sadkan, others. Getachew failed. TPLF somehow managed to keep itself intact. Getachew led TPLF faction fled Tigray, and this faction formed a new political party. So Abiy's attempt to divide TPLF did not succeed. Yes, there are divisions in TPLF, but Abiy could not really divide TPLF. Then you saw what happened in the Somali region. ONLF, Ogaden National Liberation Front, led by Abdurrahman Made, was not allowed to carry out activities in the Somali region. Rather, a new ONLF faction was backed. It emerged in Jigjaga, led by Kalbi Daaga. It fired or it removed Abdurrahman Made from the party. Abdurrahman Made led ONLF is not being allowed to carry out any activities in the Somali region. Kalbi Daaga led ONLF is operating, backed by PP. It is going to be recognized as a party by National Election Board of Ethiopia. It will contest election, while the ONLF, which signed peace deal in 2018, led by Abdurrahman Made, won't be allowed to contest election. TPLF, which signed Pretoria, won't be allowed to contest election because its status has been revoked. its status has been cancelled rather, but Gitacho led Simrat will be allowed to contest election. Now, a third party is going to be divided by the ruling party. This party's name is OFC, Oromo Federalist Congress, opposition party based in the Oromia region of Ethiopia, led by Professor Murira Gudina. Jawar Muhammad is deputy chairman of the party. Now, a party leader, an OFC leader, has announced that he is forming a party. Name of this man is Desta Dinka. Desta Dinka has been one of party's senior leaders. He's from Sululta. During recent corridor building activities by Oromia regional government, his house was demolished. When election was held in Ethiopia in 2021 during Tigray war, you know that OFC boycotted the election. Desta Dinka disagreed with party's decision. He wanted the party to contest the election, but majority boycotted. He remained part of the party. He's been working as head of internal inspection and audit. He has announced that he is forming a new political party. Name of the party is Ethiopian Federalist Congress. Professor Murira's party is Oromo Federalist Congress. And Dasta's party is Ethiopian Federalist Congress. What is important about this development is this, that Dasta says there are two other committee members of OFC who are with him, and them are going to form a new political party, which two other OFC members are with Desta Dinka. Did not name them, but I have the names. One of them is Tisfai, and the other is Birhano. Tisfai and Birhano are also OFC's senior leaders, like Desta Dinka. So Desta, Tisfai, Birhano are going to form Ethiopian Federalist Congress. Soon you will see them file a case for registration of the party, and soon you will see Nebbe recognize their party. Just like Simrat was registered very quickly by the National Election Board of Ethiopia. You will see that in coming weeks, Ethiopian Federalist Congress will be eligible to contest the next election. Oromo Federalist Congress has also announced to contest the next election, but it has announced that it will only contest election in Shaggar and Addis Ababa. OFC says that since it boycotted last election, if it boycotts the next election to it will have to face disciplinary action. Nebe will suspend the party. No political party in Ethiopia can boycott two consecutive elections. That is why the party OFC will have to contest next election. Party says its participation in next election will be symbolic. But party is complaining that it is not being allowed to carry out political activities freely. Even if OFC boycotts next election, you will see Ethiopian Federalist Congress to replace Oromo Federalist Congress in the next election. This is how Ethiopian PM Ethiopian ruling party are dividing each and every opposition party. And this is how they are trying to divide armed groups too. The strategy is the same, that they form armed groups of their own and then they infiltrate the anti government armed groups. They're creating divisions in Fano, creating divisions in Oromo Liberation Army. They promote infighting in Fano, infighting in Ola, infighting in Tigray by backing TPF, pitting TPF against TDF. So PP's policy is that it wants to create divisions. While all the time PP leaders talk about unity. Ethiopia needs unity. That's what Prime Minister says all the time. Ethiopia needs unity. Without unity, there won't be peace. Ethiopian historical enemies want to weaken Ethiopia. Ethiopia should unite. But in practice, PP is creating divisions. This is what PP's politics is. Yeah, that's the Dinka's party is going to be a prosperity party's BT. These new parties are being formed with the backing of the ruling party. So there is no doubt about that. In the Oromia region, ruling party is trying to create a friendly opposition party in the form of Ethiopian Federalist Congress. DSG says, Sajid, what is the point of holding fake election? Who are they trying to fool? Or to respect Isaias in that sense, he does not care to mimic democracy. Well, we should not respect Isaias for not holding election. We should say he should hold election. I never back such controlled elections. Wherever such controlled elections are held, democracy is discredited. People say, you see, election has been held, no change after the election. What is the point of holding an election? So, such fake elections, which are not inclusive, which are not transparent, are not doing any service to democracy. It does not mean there should not be any election. Rather, I would blame opposition parties. Politicians should work like politicians. They should create political alliances. They should mobilize people. They should educate international community about the situation on the ground in Ethiopia politically. But they are they just don't know what their role is as politicians, as political parties. They start secret talks with the government. They start pinning their hopes on armed groups. So political maturity is missing in Ethiopia. Old politicians are trying to get their acts together, but they have not been able to be impressive politically, to be honest. Guracha says, Sajid, can you tell your viewers to stand up and bow to Ethiopian PM? The man transformed Ethiopia. into economic powerhouse. Come on. Well, if you have done something good for your country, you won't need to ask people to stand and bow to you. If people love you, they will love you. You don't need to tell them to show their love for you. Gada Moti says Ethiopian politics is uh, complicated. Yeah, there are several colors to this politics: ethnic color, grievances of the past, then no transparency, controlled elections. There's several aspects, but I think that politicians have not been impressive. If there is political failure, I think politicians are responsible. I mean, I was hoping that before election, opposition parties will unite, that they will create a platform and they will jointly raise their voice for election to be transparent. But these parties could not unite. They just held virtual meetings. Joar, Bakale Garba, Gaidu Andar Gaichu, uh, Ledeto, they held virtual meetings. They could not, though diaspora and Ethiopia based politicians could not establish one opposition platform. That is what their failure is. If they cannot create one inclusive opposition platform, it means that they won't be able to fight PP politically. PP is very strong. These parties are still uh, obsessed with ethnic politics. They don't really believe that through election a change will come. So they think that change will only come through armed intervention, through miracle in the form of state movement for which they're not ready to lead, or through backdoor dealings with the government. DSG says, come on, Sajid, even if they had united, it would still be a rigged fake election. Well, I am not saying that if they unite, they will be able to make election 100% transparent. I'm not saying that. They should do their job. What is their job? They should unite. They should do whatever they can to make the election transparent. What have they done so far? Nothing. They haven't been able to sort out their own differences. Yeah, PP will win by getting 99% votes. I agree with you, uh, Mamo. Gubina Amini join. Welcome, Gubina. The 31 minutes have passed. I think I should leave. Thank you for watching. Do write in comment section. I think we don't talk much about politics. We only talk about FANO, OLA, EDF, TPF, etc. I think we should talk about uh, the politics too. How do you see the formation of new party by Desta Denka? What should opposition do in Ethiopia? What should Miragudina, Joar, Abdurrahman Made, Debretsian, Gadu Gaichu, Ledeto do to make the next year free, fair, and transparent? Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, bye bye.